I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational, but that just wouldn't be our style.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
SportsTownChicago.com. Lombard, part of the P On Air network and available on the TuneIn app.
Hell yeah.
Broadcast home for your Windy City Bulls and the Chicago Dogs. We're in a league of our own. Now, here's your SportsTownChicago.com scoreboard update.
At 12:34, I'm Charlie Carty with your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. Nikola Vucevic led the Bulls over Nuggets 129-121, handing Denver their second straight loss. Zach LaVine added 21 and Lonzo Ball chipped in 18. Tomorrow, Bulls will travel to Boston. Blackhawks kick off their 3-game road trip at Tampa Bay tonight. According to Mark Lazarus, Nikita Kucherov took a spill during morning skate, leaving the ice in pain. However, head coach John Cooper said he is okay and will play tonight. The Lightning will be without defenseman Emil Lilleberg as he is serving a 2-game suspension for a hit to the head. New Bears head coach Ben Johnson hires the NFL's youngest coordinator, Declan Doyle, former Broncos tight end coach and Saints offensive assistant. Sunday, the team also brought in Dennis Allen, former head coach of the Saints and Raiders, to be the defensive coordinator. Jimmy Butler was suspended again Monday for walking out of practice. It's the third time Butler has been suspended by the Heat in recent weeks. The Heat said the latest suspension will last at least 5 games, which will take it through the NBA's trade deadline on February 6th. New York Jets owner Woody Johnson says Monday he needs to be a better owner. Absolutely. I have to look in the mirror and I have to be a better owner, Johnson said after introducing new head coach Aaron Glenn. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update brought to you by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com.
Full Court Press with your host, Jonathan Young. Charlie Carty. We keep the pressure on people in the world of sports all day, every day.
What's up, big fella?
What's going on, man?
You good?
So how you living?
Man, good, bro. Blessed.
Good to hear, man. For real.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Get it up! Get it up! Get it up! Ah!
I was waiting for you to say your line. Give me the donut. I got the donut. That boy fell for the giddy head. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's tough.
Dunk 3 in the bucket. Dunk 3 in the bucket.
You gonna get that. Let's go, fellas. Go, go, go. Knock it down, sticks. I'm 11. That's tough, Zo. That's tough, Zo. I got the donut. Hey! Put a hand up.
Welcome in. My name is Jonathan Young. I'm here with my good friend Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
Doing well, man. Excited to be here.
All righty, man. It's great show we got planned ahead of you on Full Court Press here. We are missing a few people. I'd give a shout out to Nisa and to Jamie, who are not here, but they're here in spirit. We got your seats right here, and they are nice and warm for you for when you come back. Alrighty. So today on the show, but before we get on the show, I'd like to give a shout out for that last clip, NBA.com on YouTube. Thank you so much. That was Mateus Buzelis mic'd up for a game. And we're going to be talking about the Bulls and how that big win they had yesterday. They had a big win last night against Denver. We're going to be talking Bulls talk. The NBA is about halfway done. So we're going to give you a halfway roundup on the NBA. The Bears hiring Ben Johnson, that's going to be a big topic. And, of course, the free agents that are available, who they can get to make that team even better. But we're going to start out with the Chicago Bulls, who had a big win yesterday against the Denver Nuggets. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you, who on this team is untradeable? Reach out to me at JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think. Me personally, Charlie, man, there's only one person on this team that I would not trade. That is Mateus Buzelis. He's literally the only person that I would say you cannot have off of this team. What you think, man?
I mean, when you talk about untradeable, like, let's not throw that around. I would say nobody on the Bulls is untradeable right now, because if the Lakers called Anthony Davis and they wanted a package surrounded around Mateus, I mean, you'd still pull the trigger on that, would you not?
That's a good question.
I
I don't think I would, man. I think I'd rather have
would.
8 years of future for Mateus Buzelis versus the 3 years of Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but what
Anthony
about
Davis going to be a free agent?
What if like LaMelo Ball is like, I want to play with Big Brother, and they want a package around? That's why I'm saying Mateus is an untradeable. A guy like Wemby is literally untradeable.
Well, according to the Bulls, he is, because they recently came out with a report saying the only player they will not trade is Mateus Buzelis. They came out with a report and they said they're taking calls on the whole team. You get anybody on the team, but they said the only player they will not trade is Mateus Buzelis. And I think it's not just that he's from the city, man. In the NBA, he is third in defending the rim.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, and he's a rookie and doesn't even get that much time on the court.
And he's
third in the NBA in defending the rim.
And he plays a wing position, right? He
Well,
plays like the 3 or 4.
Three or
when
four,
he's out
yeah.
there.
Yep.
So not even a 5, and he's patrolling the rim. Like, definitely the reason you would call him untradeable is because he's not even tapped into close to what his potential is. You know what I mean? We have no idea how good he could be, and he could possibly be the franchise cornerstone.
And I think that's
never
why. I think that's why they're saying that he's the only one that is untradeable. I believe they've seen enough of Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu. They've seen enough of all the other players on the team. But Mateus Buzelis, like you said, he's untapped potential. Yeah. He can shoot the 3 at a high clip. He's athletic. He's entering the slam dunk contest this year.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he's athletic. He has vertical. You know, he loves to play defense. So it's really hard to give up on. Okay, let me ask you this. Would you give up Mateus Buzelis and see him, say, for LaMelo Ball, and now you got the Ball brothers? That's good. But to watch Buzelis go to the Hornets, and if he gets to the point where he's putting up 25 and 10 a night, every night,
that would be crazy. But I think that's his ceiling. You know what I mean? He doesn't ever strike me as like a 30 a night guy. You know what I mean? He kind of is a all around. He is more an all around game.
Is Mateus or is LaMelo Ball?
I mean, how many
scorers?
Too,
how many scorers in the NBA are going to average 30?
Not many.
Right. So I feel like if he's averaging 20 to 25 as a power forward,
yeah, that would be crazy.
With 10 points or 10 boards, it would, man. And you traded that away?
Yeah, but LaMelo, he's already averaging 20. You know what I mean? He's doing it right now. And so, I mean, you're just taking the could be for the right now. So, and that's such a crazy hypothetical trade.
Yeah,
Obviously, they would never do LaMelo for Matas, but just a good talking point.
Yeah. I mean, I could see why the Bulls would say that, though. That you can have anybody else. I think that they're more scared, and it's not even that Matez Buzelis is that good. I think it's more internally. I don't want to lose that guy that could have helped me for nothing.
Yeah.
I think that's more or less why their opinion. But it's next man up, man. Can Kobe White make this his team? Can Kobe White be the man if they trade away? Do you think he can?
I think he's hurt right now, but I mean, I'd have to see exactly. He doesn't play as much as a lot of other guys, so I'm sure there's plenty of games. You know what I mean, where Kobe White's been the lead ball handler on the night, and as far as like them replacing roles, yeah, I think Kobe could step into that role, but he's hurt right now. I think he's
going to miss. They're saying until maybe the of February he'll be back. But they're traveling to Boston in their next game, and that's be a big game, and they'll be down back to Kobe.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, maybe it'll be better to see now because we'll see really how bad the playmaking and shot like creation for other guys will be against Boston, just because those two guys are out. We'll still have Zoe in there, you know what I mean, and Io, who had 17 off the bench the other night to beat the Nuggets, but
that is definitely somebody I want to see get more time. Io can be an all-star. He plays both sides of the court. He's tenacious on defense, and he has a tricky, underrated offensive game because he can shoot, he can slash, he can pass. Like Io's a kind of utility knife, but he doesn't get enough time because or shots because you got Zach, you got Kobe White, even Giddey. You know what I mean? There's Vooch. There's so many other players that take precedence over Io DeSumo.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of vets on the team that are going to demand however many touches. You know what I mean? Vooch probably gets 8 post touches a game just off a regular game script. You know what I mean? These guys demand touches, and they're going to get them just based off the fact that they're vets. But yeah, there's only one ball, unfortunately. So when you have a lot of ball dominant guys and a lot of guys like Giddey, Lonzo, and Zach LaVine, the guards who aren't
this extension, would you extend Giddey from what you've seen this year?
Yeah, I mean, what, like a 4-year? I mean, I think he's coming off his rookie deal, so it would be like 4 years.
On the Giddey, but I will say this: if they can get Giddey for a good price, I'm in, because he is a good rebounding, assist wise, speed of the game. Like, he controls a lot when he has the ball in the game.
Yeah, he does it all. Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I think you're definitely right. It would be based on the price, and I think honestly, if we have a higher draft pick or not, because if we know we're going to be bringing in another guard we can replace him with. If we know we're not bringing in any more guards in the offseason, if we're going to stick with the rotation we have at guard, then I think you definitely have to extend Giddey. But it could get out of hand because we've only seen him for a year and a half here, or a little bit less, like a year total, right? Because it was the end of last year and start of this year, whatever. So, I mean, we haven't seen him be a productive player for a number of years, you know what I mean? That's what I would like to see, but unfortunately, we don't have that luxury because he's due this offseason, and someone will pay him.
That man gonna get a bag.
Yeah, if we don't, he'll get paid. It's not like we're gonna be able to let him sit around and take a cheap deal, you know what I mean? He's gonna get paid, so we're gonna need make a decision right now if the Bulls are gonna fork up the money or not. And
definitely.
Because if we wait, I don't know.
We can lose them for nothing. Definitely.
Exactly.
So the NBA season is long, but it's halfway through. We have winners and losers. Where does your team actually fit in? Stay tuned. Full Court Press.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
St. Patrick's Day, the only day of the year that it's okay to not boo the Boston Celtics.
I will show you mercy.
SportsTownChicago.com.
The NBA season is underway.
It really is a special night.
It's the best. You gotta love this. You absolutely have to love this. Tell you what, this league gives these kind of highlights every single night.
Yes, that is right. We need these NBA highlights every single night. That's right, man. So the NBA season's about halfway done, Charlie. Halfway. And man, I'm gonna tell you, man, there is some surprises and some, I knew that was going to happen. But, man, before we get into this topic, I'd like to give a shout-out for that last clip. Thank you to NBA on YouTube for that last clip. And I got a question for you. Pick the West and the East best team. From the East, who you got, and from the West. Reach out to me at JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think. For me personally, from the East, I'm riding with Boston. It's hard to go against the favorites. And from the West, I'm going with OKC because I think it is going to be a new favorite out there with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So I'm going Boston and I'm going OKC, man. What you think, Charlie?
I think we've seen the top two teams play a couple times already this year. I mean, we had I think it's the Cavs and the Thunder, and they had a couple good matchups this year. We saw what happened in the last one. Thunder got the better of them, but I think those games, one of them was on like New Year's Eve, I think. So, and it was a nationally televised game. I think it was flexed in. So that was a really good job by the NBA to get that in there, because I know a lot of people were watching that don't watch basketball normally, you know what I mean? So they were able to see the Cavs and the Thunder, who I think are the two best teams in their respective conferences.
I hear you, man. Cavs are at 37-9 this year. That is a great record for the Cavs. And of course the Cavs are out there being led by Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell is a very good guard who has stepped into his own. A lot of people were giving Donovan Mitchell a lot of stuff before the season started, but Donovan Mitchell is a walking bucket, and it's hard to see really people talking smack about him because he does so much. They call him Spider. But he's just so good at what he does. Here. I want to show you this clip of Donovan Mitchell mic'd up.
Hey, put you on Tatum. You guard Tatum. I Tatum? Yeah. Hey, put G here. Hey, yo. All that being said, 26-point corner, and we ain't make shots. We got 20. We in good shape.
I'd like to give a shout out to YouTube for that last clip. NBA.com. That was actually Donovan Mitchell, and you can hear how more vocal he is. He used to be a quiet leader, but now I feel like he's leading on the court as well. What you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, the question for D. Mitch has never been the scoring. Since he came out of Louisville and got drafted to Utah, and he's been on Cleveland, he's averaged 20 points a game every year of his career since he was a rookie. So, I mean, that's never been the question, was his scoring. The question for Donovan Mitchell was his playmaking. And obviously, as you can hear from that clip, I mean, he's getting the guys more involved vocally and turning into more of that vocal leader, which is propelling him into that one position. You know what I mean? In Utah, it was him and Rudy, and you didn't know who was the one, who was the two. In Cleveland, I think it's clear. Even though you have four, what you could call stars with Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, and D. Mitch, Donovan Mitchell is by far the best one on the team right now and carrying that load. And he's definitely improved the playmaking.
Yeah, definitely, man. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell, man, on your great turnaround on the season. They have to be doing something right. Like I said, they're 37-9. Donovan Mitchell for the season's averaging 23 points. Darius Garland's averaging 21-7. And Mobley is averaging 19-9. So you're right, man. They are pretty deep. They are pretty deep, but they have company. They have company out east, and Boston is not playing. They come in at 32-15, which is a little bit less than where the Cavs are, but still 32-15. They're on pace for a 50+ season again.
Oh yeah, definitely they'll be going deep in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
And when you talk about Boston, you have to talk about Jason Tatum. We got a clip of Jason Tatum mic'd up as well. Let's listen to this clip real quick.
I got help. I got you help. Yeah, I got you help. Fuck it. Send him middle. Send him middle. Help, Mike. I got your help. Send him middle.
And that's Jason Tatum right there, calling out things, letting everybody know, hey, I got your help. And that's the type of player he is this year. He is definitely looking to be the leader. It was him and Jalen even won the finals MVP. But Tatum wants to be the focal point, and he should be. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. I mean, he's averaging 28 this year, 9 rebounds and 5 assists.
Yeah, doing it all. I mean, he's always been a great rebounder, but when he first came into the league, he was always a good scorer. You know what I mean? He had that shifty ability, could get open, finally put on some mass, and now he really can do whatever he wants offensively. And they just need to keep giving the rock to him. I think he's always been better than Jaylen Brown, and I don't think that was ever questioned. But in the finals, Jaylen Brown was the better player and helped the team win, you know what I mean, better. But, yeah, Jason Tatum just has there's kind of a I don't know, there's kind of a around his name he's less respected than other superstars, you know what I mean? And it's been because he isn't that clear, even though he's the most talented guy on the team, he's the best scorer on the team, he's one of the best athletes on the team. He just hasn't been that vocal leader in Boston like he has been the last couple of years. But yeah, definitely still competitive, even though they're number 2, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything until the playoffs. Celtics, looking back like they're firing on all cylinders, a little bit worse than last year, but championship regression. I mean, that'll happen.
Yeah, you got Jaylen Brown averaging 23.6 rebounds and 5 assists, and Porzingis putting in 19 and 7 for Boston. All right, so we got Boston, we got the Cavs, and then the top third team is going to be the New York Knicks. And a lot of people, when they got Cat, was like, man, this is so unfair. Like, how do they keep getting all these players on one team? Like, they have 3 or 4 players with crazy contracts. But people want to go to New York. You know, they want to play with Brunson, and Jalen Brunson has been doing big things this year. Here, let's hear some of Jalen Brunson mic'd up. Let's hear what he got to do out there on the court.
Come to me. All right, I'm gonna make it easy. I promise.
Come to you?
Huh? On the screen.
I should really be a 4-man. Let me come set the screen.
You rather that? We know how we want the screen because we handle the ball.
Like to give a shout out to NBA TV again for that last clip. So you could hear the grittiness from the dog in him in the beginning of that clip. Like, he's out there growling on the court. Like, Jalen Brunson is a dog, and I'd love to see what the Knicks can do future coming up. So Brunson's averaging 26, 7. Karl Anthony Towns is averaging 25, 14, and 4 assists. So the Knicks 31 and 16. What you think, man? Can they compete?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Brunson exploded ever since he left Dallas, and just the pairing with him and Cat looks magical this year. And Cat, if he can continue to play with a lot more effort defensively, then there's just really no stopping the Knicks. I could see a deep playoff run incoming.
Definitely. So we ain't got much time left. We're going to go through the West real quick. We have OKC at 37 and 8. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's averaging 32 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Jalen Williams is averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Chet Holmgren's averaging 16 and 9. What do you think about OKC?
Great. I mean, they just need to continue winning.
Yeah, they definitely building some young talent and future over there.
Yeah, dynasty for sure.
Yeah, watch out for OKC. And then next you got the Rockets at 31-14, being led by Mr. Jalen Green, 22 points, 4 rebounds, and Sengun, who's averaging 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists from a big man. So, with the Rockets, it's all about Jalen Green offensively. Here we got my boy Jalen Green mic'd up. Let's hear him real quick. Let's hear how he gets down in the game.
I'm here. Knock down, Tori. What's up, boy? What's up, boy? What's up, boy? What's up, boy? Hey, come on. Hey, yo.
The Rocks once again are 31-14 on the season. The Grizzlies coming in at 31-16. Jaren Jackson averaging 22-6, but John Morant averaging 21-4, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Desmond Bain averaging 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. This is definitely John Morant's team, but John Morant has help there now, and it's good to see what he can do. Here we got a clip of John Morant mic'd up real quick. Here, let's listen to this real quick. John Morant mic'd up.
It's that time. Let's go. Come on.
And that's really what you get out of John Morant. Like to thank NBA YouTube again for that last clip, but that's what you're going to get out of John Morant. John Morant is a energizer bunny. He's going to affect the game offensively, defensively, dunking, shooting, playing D. Like, he is a spark plug.
Yeah, it looks like the what some thought was a reach in the draft last year on Zach Edey is paying off, because he looks like the best center, the best rookie big man, I would say, that's played so far. You know what I mean? He looks better than Alex Sarr over in Washington. And he just looks like the best big, and so it looks like that's paid off.
And he is definitely an enforcer.
Yeah.
John Morant took a hit a couple games ago, and your boy Edey was right there. I mean, right?
Mask.
Yeah, he was right there to stand up for him. And sometimes that's what you need. You need someone to have your back. And I definitely think you're right. Edey is that man to have his back. So that was the top 3 in the East, top 3 in the West. We were going to give some shout outs to Golden State, the Spurs, and the 76ers, who didn't and are actually out of the playoffs, but they're out. So we're not even going to get him no shout out. Moving pieces might change the NBA for the second half, but head coaching has hopes of making one NFL team playoff bound. Stick around, Full Court Press. We shall be back.
Back to your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com. Scoreboard update.
At 107, I'm Jonathan Young with your SportsTownChicago.com update, powered by Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. Nikola Jokic started red hot, going 11 for 11 as the Nuggets traveled to Chicago. Nikolai Vucevic had 20 points, 10 boards, and 6 dimes as the Bulls handed the Nuggets their second straight loss with the 129-121 victory Monday night. Veen scored 20 points, and Lonzo had 18 for the Bulls, who had lost 7 of 8. Ayo Dosunmu added 17 as the Bulls went 24 for 53 from deep, and 7 players scored in double digits. The Bulls travel to Boston Wednesday at 6:30. Levine and Kobe White are out for the game. You can catch it on Chicago Sports Net. The Cubs traded for right-hand reliever Ryan Presley from the Astros. Presley was waived his no trade clause to facilitate the move. Houston will send money to help cover his $14 million. The Cubs sent 20-year-old right-hander pitcher Juan Bello, who spent 3 years with the Cubs, back in the trade. Last year, playing for Class A Myrtle Beach, Bello had a 3.21 ERA in 22 games. Presley, 36, has likely become the Cubs' closer. He has 112 saves and a 3.27 ERA in his 12-year career. The Blackhawks travel to Tampa Bay to face off with the Lightning at 6 p.m. as they look to snap a 3-game slid. Tune in on ESPN Plus. This has been your SportsTownChicago.com update brought to you by Illinois Media. If interested in a career in media, go to BeyondAir.com.
This is your home for sports. Red Left! SportsTownChicago.com.
Take that exit and get to the Southern Cafe, home of the Nasty Biscuit on Roselle Road in Roselle. Get over there and try the chicken fried chicken biscuit made with the Southern Cafe's house-made drop biscuit with buttermilk chicken fried chicken smothered in country gravy, topped with shredded cheddar and crumbled hickory smoked bacon. I always say that when you go to the Southern Cafe, you come out with 2 meals with the heaping amounts of food they serve you in every meal. I love to go to a place with outdoor seating. The Southern Cafe has a great outdoor seating area to help social distance, and I get to enjoy my breakfast outdoors. Open 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. to give you plenty of time to grab an amazing breakfast or lunch. Now get your butt over to the Southern Cafe on Roselle Road.
Hello?
It's speed walking day.
Dorothy? You're breaking up.
Did I mention we'd be slowing down when we pass the court where those fine brothers play ball?
I heard that.
Reduce your risk of cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Get active, eat right, and maybe even run into Mr. Right. Isn't sisterhood beautiful? For more information, go to everydaychoices.org. Brought to you by the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, the Ad Council, and this station.
Alert! Alert! Be gone, maxed out credit cards, overdue loans, suffocating interest rates, and relentless collection agencies. If your credit rating is making you and others around you cringe, there's only one thing to do, and that's to turn to the professionals at Creative Credit Solutions. Even if your credit is less than perfect, we'll help you get back on track. You can do it, and we can help. Call today or visit creativecreditsolutions.net for your free credit check report.
Blow the whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. Mondays and Fridays from 2 to 3 p.m. as we talk NFL.
The game plan was really sound.
The quarterback league. It has been. It still is.
Franchise-defining quarterbacks.
College football.
Will Jim Harbaugh make it through the season as Michigan's head coach?
Some more Big Ten talk.
And here's some things you wouldn't expect.
I would have never expected that.
Get all of that and more on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
I want to thank the search committee here in Chicago. It was clear to me from the beginning that the priorities were straight. There's only one way for us to have success here, and that's the right people in place.
Welcome back. Welcome back. That was Ben Johnson talking about the future for the Bears and how they're going to get themselves out of the situation they are in right now. Thanks a lot for coming back. This is Jonathan Young, Charlie here as well. Full Court Press. Like to give a shout out for that last clip to NFL.com, Chicago Bears on YouTube. Thank you so much for that last clip. Got a question for you. With Ben Johnson here, and them assuming or them building their coaching staff like they have, how many wins do you have the Bears down for? So last year I said they was going to get 10 wins and they fell way short of 10 wins. But me personally, I do think they're going to get that 10 wins this year. Reach out to me, JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation at gmail.com. Let me know what you guys think. Any wins, Wills?
Yeah, but knowing that they're in that hard division, my floor for them would be like 4 wins, and my ceiling for them would be 9 wins. I mean, you're going up against the Packers twice, the Lions twice. You took their coach, but roster-wise, you just can't compete. Minnesota's going to be good. I mean, and then the rest of so that's why I say floor 4. Obviously, I don't see 4 happening. I would say more around the 7 to 9 range. I would say that, yeah, they strike me as a 500 team, and that wouldn't be, and as non-exciting as that sounds, I mean, it's a first-year head coach, so you're not expecting this guy to go to the Super Bowl in his first year. Obviously, you would love it, but that's just not a realistic expectation. These things take time to become a cohesive unit, and you don't want it all to happen right away.
And this, like you said, this is Ben's first job, but here's Ben Johnson on why he thinks he's ready now.
What gives me confidence is the players that I was just with and the respect level that they had for me, along with the people that I trusted in that building who would come up to me time and time again and assure me I'm ready. Chris Spielman, Mark Burnell, the people that were with me, saw me in front of the room, saw me in the meeting room. They believe in me. I believe in myself. I'm ready for this next challenge.
All right. So he's saying, hey man, get me in, coach. He's saying I'm ready to run the plays, coach. Let's go. Like, he feels, even though this is his first time coaching, that he's passed, in other people's opinion, the eye test, which is why he actually took this job, because he feels last year he could have left Detroit, but he didn't. He didn't, because he felt like he wasn't ready, like he wasn't able to control the whole team. And after this year, he did say that, like he said in that last clip, like to give a shout out for that last clip, to the Chicago Bears on YouTube for that last clip. Thank you so much. But Ben is really a first-year head coach, and it depends as far as the coaching staff, as far as where he goes, in my opinion. It's hard when you're a first-time head coach to really succeed, but he did it right, man. If Eric Allen, I'm sorry, if Allen does end up joining the team, he's a great defensive coordinator, and he has head coaching ability, so he wouldn't have to necessarily pay much attention to the defense. He can concentrate more on the offense, which is what he needed. So if the Allen thing does get done, Courtney Cronin is reporting that the Allen thing is done. The Bears haven't made an official, but she's saying and reporting it is done. So if they get Allen to solidify that defense coordinator, that'll help them out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely his expertise and his experience in doing that exact position. I mean, he's succeeded wildly at being a defensive coordinator. Head coach is a different story, but it's a completely different job. As far as a defensive coordinator, he's great.
And coming from Detroit, he learned a little bit about how to control the room and things from Ben Johnson. He had to have. Here's actually what he had to say and what he learned from Ben Johnson.
Dan Campbell is truly authentic from the moment he steps into a building to when he leaves. He's entirely him. And I know everyone talks about being yourself, but he certainly embodied that over the last 4 seasons I was with him. So I will forever take that with me, along with his ability to empower the people around him. I have seen him totally delegate responsibilities, have complete trust in the people that he hires, and allow them to do their jobs. That's something that I plan on taking with me and will do the same.
So there you go. Like he did learn a lot from his time in Detroit with Campbell. So he's learning how to control the room. He seems like he has his offense coordinator, defense coordinator set. He looks like he has a lot of the positions. He doesn't have an offensive line head coach yet. I was hoping that he'd be able to poach the one from Detroit, seeing how good their offensive line is, but I guess I was told today the unwritten rule is you can only take one, and he took Chicago's own Antoine Randall L to come and be our wide receiver coach. So big things happening in Chicago as far as Ben Johnson. What you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's starting to build his staff. We all knew he would. Ben Johnson, once he gets hired, his first order of business was going to be to fill out the rest of the staff, his defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, because that's the nice part about going to a head coaching job is you can control who the rest of you guys you're coaching are, or the guys you're coaching with. Now, as far as with Dennis Allen and Declan Doyle, his offensive and defensive coordinators, he's coached with Declan Doyle in New Orleans, but never was. They were like on the similar level, a more similar level than they're going to be now. But with Dennis Allen, he's never coached with him. But Dennis Allen does check the box of being a former head coach and doing the position. Declan Doyle, youngest offensive coordinator in the league now. He's going to be 28, possible project, future head coach, prodigy. But yeah, I mean, I like you're bringing in a mix of a young guy who has some untapped potential, and then you're bringing in an older guy who's done the job, who's been in the positions, who's been in the scenarios. And so I like the mix. You're bringing in a mix of both. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And this Bears team, they're not really missing a lot. Ben Johnson, he could have went to the Raiders, he could have went to the Jags, but he did like this roster as it is. And here's Ben Johnson talking about the Chicago Bears roster.
Listen, we'll evaluate the whole roster. I have not watched all the tape, but I have a good feel from game planning against this defense and certainly seeing the crossover tape with the offense that I feel really confident about the current talent level already in the building. Going into this season, I felt like this place was a sleeping giant. To be honest with you, I personally was more concerned about the Chicago Bears than I was anybody else in this division. Now, there's a number of reasons why that did not unfold, all right, which that's why I'm here. I'll get to the bottom of that, and we'll see if we can't get that corrected and cleaned up. But I was very encouraged with what was already on the roster right here. And like I said before, this division, as hard as it is, really excited about it.
And there he is. So himself, he is stating that he feels like this team has talent, but maybe not all the pieces they need. We all know they need help on the offensive line and on the defensive line. And Ben Johnson, he's ready to go to war, and he needs soldiers who will be available.
Longtime fans, sports is like life. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
The Chicago Dogs are back on SportsDownChicago.com. Tune in to the season opener against the Sioux City Explorers, Friday, May 28th at Impact Field in Rosemont. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. Hear all the action right here on SportsDownChicago.com.
How do you become the best versions of yourselves? That's what it's going to be about from start to finish. When you walk in, it'll be crystal clear, the communication, the structure, and the consistency, and that will never waver.
Welcome back. That was Mr. Ben Johnson speaking on how they get better. He is one head coach that actually does plan on holding the Bears accountable for their mistakes. And I'm pumped, man, because if he's saying he has a good roster, we're just missing a few pieces. Everybody last year, let me give a shout out for that last clip. But got a question for you guys. Who would you like to see the Bears sign in free agency? There's quite a lot of people available in free agency. Me personally, I'm going with Trey Smith. That's my number one guy. I don't care if he say he want $30 million a year. Pay that man his money. Please get us Trey Smith. Reach out to me at JJ Young, Windy City Sports Nation. Let me at gmail.com. Let me know the biggest free agent that you want to come to Chicago. Could be T. Higgins. We're gonna lose. I think we're gonna lose Keenan Allen in free agency. So you might say T. Higgins. Me personally, I'm sticking on the offensive line as a way to get better. What you think, man?
I got to go with T. Higgins. I mean, we've never seen him as a wide receiver one, and still it would be shaky if he came to Chicago because you have DJ Moore, you have Rome Odunze. I think Keenan Allen is likely to be out the door and likely to be somewhere else. But, yeah, T. Higgins is my number one because if you're losing a guy like that, and even if you're bringing Keenan back, T. Higgins is such a weapon. We saw what he did in that Super Bowl against the Rams. I mean, he had burned Jalen Ramsey on like the first play of the second half. He's a Super Bowl productive level receiver, you know what I mean? And he needs that number one spot. I want to see him as wide receiver one.
Yeah, man, I hear you, man. T. Higgins is definitely one of the best wide receivers out there. Me personally, I just don't want to see the Bears make the same mistake they made last year. And in my opinion, the mistake they made last year was not shoring up the positions that you know are glaring holes just to shore up another position. For example, running back. Last year, Swift is a great running back, but we had Khalil Herbert, we had Roschon Johnson. You know what we didn't have? A starting caliber center. They want to kick the tires on Bates and Shelton. Instead of going out and spending that money that they spent on Swift, they could have gave that to a great starting center. You know what I mean? Like, and starting centers aren't just, you go pick them off a tree.
Yeah.
But with that type of money, I would have rather seen them get a center instead of a running back. Like, the Bears have holes on the interior line. And if they had a T. Higgins, it'd be nice. But I feel like it'd be kind of the same situation there and now, where if you don't have enough time to throw the ball, if your quarterback doesn't feel comfortable back there behind the offensive line, it don't matter who you got catching the ball. The Bears have never had a receiving core like they had this year. And this was one of the worst years for the receivers that I can remember as a Bears fan.
Yeah. The reason I'm saying T and I'm sticking with that, I think they're way more likely to address the offensive line through the draft than taking a receiver or a skill position because their pick is so high this year. I mean, the first couple receivers projected that are not blue chip level prospects, like Travis Hunter, and that is like a Mecca Ibuka, and he probably won't go till the 20s. But as far as guards and the Bears can address that at their pick right now. And I feel like they're more likely to take an offensive lineman in the draft, which I would prefer because then you have him on the rookie contract, like either a guy like Tyler Booker out of Alabama, great guard, or a guy like Will Campbell. And he played tackle at LSU, but you could definitely move him inside due to his arm length to guard. But I just think they're more likely to address offensive line in the draft. So I think in free agency, go out, get that weapon.
I just feel like you're not going to find a Trey Smith in this year's draft. At 25 years old, you know what you're getting with Trey Smith. He's a Pro Bowl player. Whereas if you take that wide receiver T. Higgins, that's as good as a player as he is. He's never done it by himself. He's never been that top guy. So that's kind of a reach, especially when you already have DJ Moore and Rome Odunze on your team. I'd rather see them get a rookie wide receiver, somebody who could grow with Caleb, and get this stud at guard who's only 25 years old. I mean, and then that way, if you're paying T. Higgins, how much are you going to pay T. Higgins as a wideout?
Like $20 million a year.
Yeah, you're gonna pay a wideout a little bit more than a guard. It's probably not a lot more, but you're gonna pay a wideout more. I'd rather see them get that second round or third round wideout who's a rookie.
Yeah, definitely like the draft is going to be deep in receivers, so you could get one later down the board, even running back. I mean, they could definitely add a running back,
and they need to. They definitely need to add competition in that running back room as well. But any way you look at it, it's going to be it has to be a change on that offensive line. You need a center. And in my opinion, you need two guards. Even if they keep Tevin Jenkins, you still need two guards. And Braxton Jones, he's up in the air. I would get a tackle as well. There's some guys out there later on in their career as far as tackles, like Rodney Stanley. He's 30 years old, but he's playing tackles. So you sign him and you give him like a 2-3 year contract, and you let Braxton Jones be your swing for that 2 to 3 years. Let him develop, let him get maybe a little stronger so that he has a better anchor. He can't develop fully if he's thrown out there every week. You see he has holes in his game. If you take him out and you start someone who's ready right now, like a Rodney Staley, that helps you. Rodney Stanley, that helps you now. So I'm gonna keep that money off of that, and you're not gonna pay Rodney Stanley that much. You could probably get Stanley and Trey Smith for the same amount that you could for T. Higgins, and that would shore up two of your positions.
Yeah, that would be crazy if they could add both of those dudes. Stanley obviously is such a beast. I think that's why Lamar Jackson has been so successful. I mean, you have the left tackle blocking his blind side. Like, he's been shut down over there, you know what I mean? Stanley's on the island. So, I mean, as far as defense, they got Khalil Mack's a free agent, Javon Holland, DJ Reed. So there's some guys in the secondary you could add. I mean, defensively, would you address like an edge rusher first? You want secondary help?
I would they need help in the secondary because Byard is getting old, and there's no question what's going on with Brisker with his concussion protocols. But I would try to address that in the draft, maybe second, third round. You know, but
Watts,
there's a few, maybe even in free agency, there's some good free agent safeties out there. But But I would go after a defensive end in free agency. I want to see the Sweat boys get back together. Josh Sweat he's only 27. Montez Sweat is what, 28, 29?
Yeah, I think a year older.
So they're right there together as far as age. You get him as your bookend to go with Montez Sweat and Jervon Dexter in the middle. Andrew Billings coming back.
Yeah.
Andrew Billings coming back, and who knows like what can happen on that defensive line. I would go defensive end. You don't need they do need help inside as well on the defensive line. But with Billings coming back, and Jervon Dexter did take a step last year, I want to see that defensive end get solidified opposite of Sweat.
So if you can't get Josh Sweat, who do you like? Khalil Mack?
I do like Khalil Mack. I like Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
Who's only 30.
Yeah, there's a couple good. I mean, these are all good veterans too. You know what I mean?
Malcolm Kuntz.
Yeah, Raiders.
26. Let him grow.
Yeah,
he could be your stud maybe next year with Booker.
Yeah, and on defense, that's really where it all starts.
Yeah.
Is the defensive line
Yeah.
because it takes pressure off the secondary, off the safeties, off the.
Johnson is the type of head coach that's going to hold people accountable. There was a lot of stuff being done last year where people were being unaccountable. So here's Ben Johnson on holding people accountable.
We will set the standard in terms of what it looks like, what it should look like, what it shouldn't look like. Anytime it's not hitting that standard and that mark, it'll be us as the coaching staff to call guys out, and repeat offenders will have to continue to be made an example of.
He said they're going to continue to be made an example of. Not I'm going to punish you once and it's okay. Go do it again. No, he said you will continue to be made an example of. So that sounds like a shout out there to Mr. Tyreek Stevenson. You better have your head on your shoulders.
Yeah. I mean,
this next year.
Yeah, you as a head coach, if you want to be productive, you want to develop a winning culture, you can't let stuff like that fly. You know what I mean? That stuff needs to be not even a question.
Definitely. So it's nice to see that he's definitely planning on holding people accountable, and that's what it should be. This is one of my favorite quotes from him from this last press conference that Ben Johnson had. Let me show you this last clip from Ben Johnson. This is great. Listen to this.
I do have a message here for the players. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's right. Short, quick, to the point. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Look, you're going to be doing things that I might ask you to do that you do not understand. I don't care. Just do it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of coach he is, you know.
Exactly what you want to hear. Exactly what you want to hear. I mean, he's going to play no games. There's no games being played here.
Definitely. No nonsense type guy. I'm excited to see what we're going to have ahead of us as Ben Johnson leads the Chicago Bears into the future. New stadium on the way, new O-line on the way, some defense players on the way, wide receiver might be on the way. You know, it's the future could be bright in Chicago, you know, especially with that new stadium. So we'll keep our ears to the ground, you know, for you guys, let you know what's going down. Full court press, you know, we keep the pressure on you from the inbound to the layup. So next week, man, it's going to be a good show. Or I'm sorry, Thursday. Today's only Tuesday. Thursday, we're going to have my boy Charlie as the host. He's going to be the producer.
Yep.
He is ready to go. So make sure you guys tune in with us on Thursday. Charlie, what you got coming up on Thursday?
Shoot, man, we're gonna definitely talk Hawks because they played tonight. We'll recap Bulls a little bit, and we're gonna dive back deep into the free agency and the draft preview.
All right, draft preview. I love the NFL draft, man.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be a big time right there for the Bears. They got the 10th pick, is it?
Yeah, I think 9 or 10.
Yeah, they should get another blue chipper. They got Darnell Wright around that spot last year. So we'll see who they can come up with this year. Great show, Charlie, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You guys have yourselves a great day. And we will see you on Thursday.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.